Hello. Welcome back to the first plot along of the 2025 season. Hello. So if you're here, we would love to know. So the non-fiction, the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction Longlist dropped this morning at 8 a.m. And as you can imagine, me and Charlie were bouncing around like little ping pong balls in excitement. There she goes. There, she's so excited. She's set some fireworks off. If you didn't know, which I'm sure you did, this is the lovely Charlie, my co-host.
If anyone doesn't know, I'd be surprised by now. It's been a while.
I am going to shout out Alice, who is obviously not here, but I think she's here in spirit, and we miss her very much. And I think she would be super excited about this list. And I think I will probably shout out some particular books on the list that I think Alice would have been absolutely going potty for. So, yes, we have some people. We have the lovely Jack. Hi, Jack. Amelia, hello. Ariane, hello.
Our pludders. We're back together with our pludders.
Martha, hello. Joy of Books, hello. Elizabeth. Oh, lovely Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Jen. We'll talk about Jen later because, yes, there's a particular book. Jen. Hello, Jen. Camilla, hello.
Oh, wow. That's dedication, Lynn.
Lynn was awake at 3 a.m. for the announcement. That is dedication to the cause, Lynn. We like that. You can stay.
Yeah. You've earned your badge.
You've earned a badge. Kate, hello. Oh, lovely Jane, hello. Amy, hello. So many people say hello.
Exciting.
Oh dear, it's so lovely to see you all. Thank you all for coming out to support us. We appreciate it so much. I know that Charlie and I have been talking about how much this community means to both of us. And it is absolutely delightful to see you all here. We've got Sarah as well and Jess.x. So excited for Women's Prize season. Yes, I am also.
You're going to do some hearts on the screen if they come. I don't know if they'll do it. There was someone else.
Welcome back to the plot along, guys.
Yay, they got hearts.
We've got hearts.
Those are hearts for you guys.
I think the plan of attack for today, especially for me, is we're going to go through the 16 long list of books. I think it's safe to say that there are quite a few on there that were surprises to us, quite a few that we are happy to be surprised by. We'll then check in on how our predictions went. And then we'll talk about long list favourites, ones that we think are going to be favourites and ones that we think are not going to be favourites. And we'll end up by predicting the shortlist very early, as between us, we have read one book. And by between us,
we've got you guys in the comments, and I know Jen the librarian, has read loads. Well, not read loads, but a lot loads compared to us.
Compared to us, yes.
Compared to us. Which you can brag about, Jen, if you want to.
So, Charlie.
Can I quickly say, before we get into all of that, I just wanted to say thank you to every single person that has ordered a bookmark. I have been looking at all your orders just before we came on on this live show. She's got them. This is our in case of you guys don't know, which I think most of you in the comments do know, we're selling some bookmarks this year. We've got our plodders / FOMO book club merch, and and you guys are so amazing. You've literally done us proud. Jem, you can say how much roughly we've made.
So we've made nearly £200 for the National Book Trust so far, and I say we, but actually credit to Charlie, who's done 98.5% of the work. I just signed off on stuff.
I can never do anything without my girls. I can never do anything without my girls.
So yes, I will, after this live show, I'll put the link to the Etsy shop in the description. Charlie, have you already shared the link?
Yeah, it's in my video. So I've got a bookmark video. If you go to my channel, there's a bookmark video and there's a link in there. The Etsy shop is Charlie's Bookish Gifts. So yeah, that's what, if you search for that, you will see the bookmarks. And then you'll know.
Indeed. So we are pretty stunned, I think, at how many people have already purchased. So
and most people have bought sets, which I was not. It was like, it's crazy. But we are planning on restocking them. So if they are nearly sold out. So if anyone
already,
yes, I'm not even lying. And we've got loads of extra Alice bookmarks, obviously, but because I purposefully ordered extra of those. But yeah, I didn't realize. I obviously didn't realize. So yeah, but yeah, I will be restocking them so that they're on sale throughout the plod along is my aim. So yeah.
Yeah. Danny is here. Hello. Nice to see us. Emily, hello, my love. Miss JT, hello. I missed how to order a bookmark. Yes, go to Charlie's video and the link is
to my video. There's a link in the description to the Etsy shop. It's Charlie's Bookish Gifts, and but yeah, there's a link in my latest video, and then also there's a link on my Instagram, I believe.
Yeah, and we'll share one on community tab as well after this or tomorrow. Oh, lovely Ben is here. Hello, Ben. Cheryl is loving the bookmarks. Camilla, very excited. Thank you.
And they've all ordered them. They have. We're like, I can see all the people that have ordered them. I'm like,
amazing work, Charlie. Amazing.
They're the
work.
best. No, they're the best. It's them. You guys are the best.
So yes. No, okay, and Rena herself is here. Hello, Angela. Okay, so
now we can dive into the list.
The excitement is too much.
We was literally giddy, weren't we? We was literally so giddy.
So prediction results. So how did we do? Charlie has the scores on the doors. She's got my list. She's got her list. She's going to tell us who won, Charlie. Who got the most?
The only reason why you're saying that is because clearly you have won. But so Jem has got...
So did you say one again?
Yes. Yeah, but right. Don't go bragging because last year you got a 5, and yeah, she won it for 2 years in a row. Yeah, last year Jem got a 5 for the non-fiction predictions, I believe, and this year you only got 3, but it's still more than I did. So you definitely trounced me. I believe Camilla watching, I think she got 4 predictions correct. 4 of her predictions were correct. I knew she got more than us because when we saw the list, I was like, Camilla stormed this. Actually, out of the 3 of us, Camilla has actually. But even though I'll give it to you, Jem. I'll give it to you, Jem.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and I only got 2, so I got 2 for those wondering. I got 2 correct. My predictions was what should I say?
Yeah.
The 2 that I got correct was Raising Hare, which obviously was one of my favorite books of last year. It was like probably my second favorite book of last year. And then also I got oh my god, my brain has gone mushy. Ootlin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which I also those are the 2 books I got correct. What 2 books did you get correct?
3.
3.
Get it right. Because Raising Hare, Autocracy Inc. and Story of a Hart, which is thanks to Jen, the librarian. So, initial thoughts, Charlie, when you first saw the list, what did you think? Did you think, oh my god, what have the women's post done? They're such idiots.
No, I was like so excited, like because yeah, like I was just like I was really excited, and I was so pleased that I was excited because yeah, it's not always the case with the long list, is it? Sometimes you can be quite disappointed, but nope, I was like there was books we knew, there was a load of books we don't know, so yeah, all good.
Happy Charlie.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. There's quite a few on there that I'm interested in. I quite like that there's like a good couple of history type ones, a couple of Indigenous books as well. So I think it's a really good, a really rounded list. I think there's like something for everyone on the list. And I think I kind of trust this prize after last year, having so many books that I loved on the long list last year. Just knowing the premises of these, I'm like, well, they're probably excellent, given last year's list.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah. Yeah, because it was crazy last year. I'll go through this, because I wrote down earlier. I sent a message to the gang about like the various occupations of some of the author. Well, not occupations. That's not right, is it? I don't know how you say.
Well, I would have thought their occupation is writer.
No, but I know they're actual. But like I said, like you've got like MP. I wrote a note earlier. I wrote it to Jen as well. So, where is it? Oh no, I can't find it. I should just go to Jen's message.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to go through the comments. Say hello, Magic Smith. Emily wants you to lend her Raising Hare. And Emily actually likes some of the books on the list. Emily doesn't read a lot of non-fiction. Martha, fantastic list, so many different topics. Great list, good variety. Agree. Jack's loving the list. Hello, Bookworm. Agree with Gemma, last year's long list set a precedent and gave us ample reason to be excited for this year's. Yes,
because like last year's long list, so many of both of our favourites of the year was because of that long list. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Jack started Autocracy Inc. today. Nice.
Oh, tell us how you get on with it.
I still haven't started one.
I did start Ootlin.
I need to finish my current reads. Don't tempt me.
So I'll go through my little list. I said we've got an Labour MP, we've got a human rights lawyer, some British historians specialising in medieval and Tudor times. That was, as soon as I saw they specialised in medieval and Tudor times, that's what made me think of our Jen in the comments, Jen the librarian. A biologist, a doctor. We've got an Aboriginal writer / activist, a political advisor, Native American activist, and a singer-songwriter. I mean, like obviously they're writers, but isn't that crazy as well?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It is. Nastia saying, I wonder what the books you are most excited about. Mine are the history ones. I probably wanted some science, unless I forgot there was one. The fish one, Why Fish Don't Exist, is a science one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit more of a philosophical. Oh, I love you. My husband's.
Oh, is it
philosophical? The one that's a little bit more. Well, let's see. The C one I think is the one that's a bit more. Well, we'll see, to do with marine biology, so I guess science in that way. But I think she does talk because it's she's talking about in the one that you're talking about. I've got all my lists. I've got to try and find the right person. Right. Why Fish Don't Exist by Lulu Miller, you mean, don't you? Yeah. It's because she's talking about a lot about David Starr Jordan, who I think he was, I can't remember who he was, but I think he was like some sort of scientist kind of person in the like, I should have written down from when, but anyway. So yeah, it's a bit more memoiristic about that, but then it also is her philosophical reflections on life. That's what I wrote down about it. So there might be like about the universe and stuff like that, because it says this is this. I'll go through it when we go through that one. Or do you want me to do that one now?
No, we'll go through it in a minute. So yes,
it does say scientific biography, but it says it's more about a guide on how to live well in a world where chaos comes for us all.
Okay, so we will be talking about which ones we think will be favourites shortly. So stay tuned. Elizabeth's very happy with the list. Jen also started Autocracy today and nearly finished it. It is the audiobook's like 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's 220 pages, I think.
5 hours. Yeah. So
it's 240 pages, I think.
Yes.
It's one of the shortest ones on the list, along with Why Fish Don't Exist, which is also
last year's list had a best book for me. I think that was the How to Say Babylon, was it not? Have Raising Hare and the Peepshow on the TBR. Love the fact there are some historical ones, especially Tudor. Yes, completely agree. Start a Peepshow, a crime journalist.
Excited for that one, I think. That's one we're excited for, which we'll tell you
about. So keen to read that. I've read The Eagle and the Hart and have the Peepshow. How was it, Miss JT?
Yeah, was it good? Let us know.
We need to know.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, Jen. That's the one I think.
The C one.
That's the one I would have it's the Helen Scales one. Yeah. And that was okay, we're gonna get to all one anyway. I've got all my notes there, so I'll wait.
Lindy reviewed Why Fish Don't Exist. I think it was one of her books of the year.
Wow.
That's a good
that is exciting.
That's Lindy Magpie Reads, if anyone's not familiar. Ben's not a big non-fiction reader, but felt a bit more tempted by the books on last year's list. Really? Ben?
It was a lot, to be fair. I do think that Ben would like intervals from last year's list. Because that's obviously that's what do you call them?
That was really good.
I can't remember what you called the brand of them. The
Fitzcarraldo.
The one I told you I'm not awake. My brain is all mushy, people. I'm sorry.
Stephanie likes this list more than last year's list, so we've got all of the opinions. Already own 4 of the books. Excellent work.
The best thing about these lists is, though, because I always have an opinion at the start, and I love seeing how my opinion changes from the start to the end. That's why it's cool to say, oh, our tops and our bottoms, because last year's bottoms, there was one book that was on my bottoms last year, Codependent, and it's one of my favorites of last year's books of the year. It was like a book of the year last year. So it's funny to see, even though it might seem like we're being salty, it's fun to see how it twists.
Yes. Reading off my shelf, look at the history ones, and the one about the heart. Yes,
that's going to be it. I feel like I don't think I'd do that one because I feel like that'd be too sad for me. I don't think I could cope with it.
I love that. Amelia interested in Ootlin and A Story of a Heart. Both sound great. Nene Cherry's bit is priority for me as well. I'm not sure I'm going to like that one.
Yeah, I don't think it would be for you. I listened to a sample of it and I didn't think it was a particularly gem sounding book. But
oh, an Anne Applebaum fan.
We were talking about Anne Applebaum, and we will get to her. But yeah, she's got. I was looking at her backlist. She's got a mighty backlist because I was writing down notes this morning, and Anne Applebaum has got a lot of books. Actually, yeah, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books before I'm not going to say it. Autocracy.
You've got it. Ariane's interested in By the Fire We Carry. Yeah, that's high up my list as well, Ariane.
And we will shout out which ones are on Everand and stuff like that. And any of you guys know which ones are on Spotify, make sure you share in the comments because I don't have Spotify. But yeah, make sure you guys say that as well. So.
Just going to flick quickly to surprise and omissions. Is there anything on the list that you thought should have been there that wasn't, Charlie?
I've got a few. I'm not too salty, but there's a little bit actually.
Sound a bit salty.
So yeah, My Bright Wolf. I literally just finished listening to that on my Good Bright Wolf. Sorry, I finished listening to that on Monday, and I just thought it was just the most beautiful book. It's obviously very extremely brutal because it's talking about eating disorders, and it's just so beautifully done. And she's just the most amazing. It just makes me want to read. I've only read one of her books, but I'm like, if you can write your memoir like this. It just makes me want to read all of her books. So yeah, I'm gutted that didn't make it.
By Sarah Moss, by the way.
By Sarah Moss. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No,
and The Story of a Murderer by Hallie Rubenhold. Obviously, I can see why it wasn't listed because we've got another a book covering sort of similar ground on the list. And then Scapegoat, which I can't remember who the author is of that. But those are the 3 that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they weren't listed.
I think there's only one that I would have really liked to see on the list that isn't there, and that's An African History of Africa. So yeah, I still really want to read that. It's quite chunky though.
You want to take your time, Ava.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would be on this so that it would give me an extra reason to get to it sooner rather than later. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you guys have any that you think should have made the list.
It's always interesting to see. I do think quite a few people have said about an African history of Africa, actually.
Yeah. Also, the cover's really pretty. Stephanie owns Autocracy, Private Revolution. That sounds great. Ancient Zoe and By the Fire We Carry. Yeah, they all sound good.
You're doing really well if you've already got those in your library.
Miss JT loved it, but would listen to anything that Helen Castor writes.
You guys are making me so excited.
I have not read anything by any of these authors.
I hadn't even heard of Helen Castor, being honest. Sorry.
No. I do own a book by Jenny Fagan. And I've DNF'd a book by Alexis Wright. But other than that, I haven't read any of them. Sarah hasn't had a chance to look at the list yet, but have seen Vikings, which makes me happy. I want to read that one. Me too.
The audiobook of that is narrated by the author, but it does sound like she's doing a good job, in my opinion, based upon the sample. And also, I'll wait for that. I'm going to go get into all the things. I've got so many things.
Ben is definitely a Fitzcarraldo fan.
We know.
Definitely going to read the story of a heart that may be difficult because my brother's heart beats in the chest of a woman I've never met. Oh, sorry, mate. That's
Sending
hard.
you cuddles.
Ariane is an Anne Applebaum stan. I really feel like I need to read that immediately now. Expert on Eastern Europe and Russia. Nice.
Yeah, because of the titles that she's got previously. I'll go on that. I'll wait for that. I'm just so eager. Every time you guys talk about them, I'm like, yes, I've got all this in my notes.
Lynn, halfway through Raising Hare and loving it. Looking forward to Embers of the Hands. Yes. Jack. I nearly called her Spread. Spread said.
You must be tired too.
Yeah, I am tired. Wanted African history of Africa as well. In the vein of wifedom, I was hoping to see A Wilder Shore, the romantic odyssey of Fanian. Oh, that sounds great. I might have to add that to my TBR.
Do you want to write it down?
Yeah, please. But I loved wifedom last year. I was surprised how much I loved wifedom last year.
I've still got that on my thing because I started to try and read it when I wasn't reading, and then it didn't work.
Yeah, to be honest, I never would have got to it if Alice hadn't championed it. Yeah. She read it first. Samantha, I'm reading Praiseworthy at the moment. I'm very interested to see how Tracker compares. So I DNF'd Praiseworthy last year. In full transparency, I only read about 15 pages and felt like the writing style wasn't for me. So that worries me about Tracker, because Tracker is 800 pages.
But if you try a sample of it from your Kindle.
Oh, it's on Everand.
Oh yeah, but I don't like to try start things on Everand if I feel like I'm going to quit them, because does it affect those things? This is a stupid thing to talk about, but yeah. You know, the stats.
It's literally free. No, well, it's not free.
Does it affect read books? That's what I would be thinking. I'd be like, no, I've got to try sample first.
You have some weird Charlie book rules. But I will try Tracker, but I am concerned that Alexis Wright is just not my jam. Ariane saying Autocracy isn't her best, but an important read. That's interesting. So what you're saying is read Autocracy and then read her backlist.
Actually a good way to go about it, to be fair. That is probably the book that obviously I know we're going to get into that, but yeah, I'm a little bit like...
Peepshow's $1.99 on Kindle. Yes, just adding them to my wish list. Surprising Omission. Oh yeah, the Lighties. I did predict that. You predicted that, didn't you? Brilliant. I still want to read that. So yeah, that's a good shout, Stephanie. Good shout. There's
so many amazing books by women, which is why this particular, like, the Women's Prize non-fiction long list is so important, because like every time like you open like Waterstones or any other books, to be clear, yeah, like you open the pages up for the non-fiction, it's always like books by men just appearing. And these, when we were every time we researched for the non-fiction, or the last year when we researched for the non-fiction long list, and then this year when we researched, like there's just so many books out there it's so exciting. I just think it's just, yeah, we don't ever hear about them. And so that's why, because like me and you and Camilla did our predictions and there was hardly much overlap, which I was really surprised about.
Yeah, I actually thought it was easier this year to find interesting sound and non-fiction by women than it was last year. I really struggled to find 16 last year. So whether the tides are turning or it's just a good year for like women in non-fiction, I don't know, but I thought there was more this year. And the fact that there's books on this list that neither of us or Camilla, who obviously did predictions as well, none of us predicted them, none of us have heard of them. I love that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, I just think it's so wonderful what the Prize is doing to promote non-fiction written by women. I just think it's amazing. Absolutely. It's so important. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about the books.
Oh yes. I've got. Right, okay. I've got.
So we're going to start with Embers of the Hands by Eleanor Barraclough.
I will see where I've written it in my list.
So this is the one
I wrote my list
by
in a
an
different
Indigenous author.
Which one is it? The Ember of the Hands?
Yeah.
Have a look. My brain. Oh, here we go. I've got it. Yes. So I've got it. So Ember of the Hands was published on the 19th of September last year, and is 384 pages long, with an average Goodreads rating, and I'm going to say Goodreads rating, sorry people that complain about it or don't like Goodreads, it's just because it's got more things, of 4.15. And those are the interesting things. Do you want me to read you my little blurby things that I've got?
Yeah.
So yeah, it says it's from a Times Best history from the tiny ember. Eleanor Barraclough blows back life. The vast, rich, complex world of the Vikings. These are not just the stories of kings, raiders, and saga heroes. Here are the lives of ordinary people, the merchants, children, artisans, enslaved people, seers, travelers, and storytellers who shaped the medieval Nordic world. And it says, immerse yourself in the day-to-day lives of the extraordinary culture that spans centuries and spread its Scandinavian heartlands to the remote fjords of Greenland, to the Arctic wastelands. I can't read my writing. And steeps of Eurasia and all the way to the Byzantium. Yes. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Very
So I got that wrong. I said it was the Indigenous one, and it's not.
No, it's not. It's the Viking one.
I was thinking of the
Is that the Viking
Embers, fire. I was getting myself confused.
Yeah, the Vikings. The Vikings. This is the Vikings.
So yes, this is the Viking one, which also the cover for this is beautiful.
I might get my zigzag out because it'll be easier for me to read the thingies when they come up.
So yes, excited for that. Was delighted to see that on the list. Jen said I tried to buy Embers of the Hands a couple of weeks ago, but no bookshops had it in stock. So I put it on a library hold instead.
Actually, I was going to say I don't think that might not be one. Yeah, sorry. I don't think that's one that's on Zigzag. Even though I've been saying loads of them are on Zigzag, I don't think that's one that's on Zigzag currently. It might be eventually, but currently, the audiobook isn't on there. Yeah.
So, and Stephanie also saying she was hoping the Sarah Moss would
so
be
good. That was such the most best book. Sorry.
But no, I'm really excited for the Viking one.
that is so exciting, and also the cover of that. I think when I was looking at the covers, that cover is so striking. I'll see if I can find it on my phone.
And hopefully, Jen, that some more bookshops will stock it now that it's been listed.
Because it's just hopefully. There we go. Yeah, it's like the gold and black. I'll see if I can. Can you see?
Yes.
So it's just the most beautiful cover, and obviously to talk about the things. I'll see if there's any cool blurbs by people. It says, Dominic Sandbrook and Tom Holland. But this is another thing that people are saying. Tom Holland has blurbed. I don't even know who Tom Holland is. Sorry, but he has blurbed a lot of the books from. Sorry.
He's a famous historical writer.
Sorry, but I'm terribly sorry. But yeah, he has blurbed a lot of these books apparently.
As I say, famous historical writer. Oh dear. Okay, so then we move to By the Fire We Carry. So this is the one by an Indigenous author, Rebecca Nagle.
Yes, Nagle. Yeah,
Nagle.
And that says it's the generation's long fight for justice on native land, and it is 352 pages. It was published on the 12th of September last year, and it's got an average Goodreads rating of 4.46, which is extremely high. I think that's quite good. I want to note as well, with all these, again, with the non-fiction long list, the average ratings, star ratings for all of these are, apart from 2 books, they're all above 4 stars on Goodreads. So,
yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, it says a New York Best Book of 2024, an Esquire Best Book of 2024. So it's got, I think it's won a lot of, I think it's had quite a bit of prize attention. A powerful work of reportage and American history that braids together the story of forced removal of Native Americans onto treaty lands in the nation's earliest days. a small town murder in the 1990s that leads to a Supreme Court ruling reaffirming native rights to the land that's more than a century later. So here, Rebecca Nagel recounts the generation-long fight for tribal land and sovereignty in the eastern Oklahoma by chronicling it. I think that's right. I'm sorry. I'm reading my notes from last night. I'm terribly sorry.
Hello to Claire. Martha managed to reserve 14. That's really good out of the 16. That is amazing. Ben thinks that Spider-Man is actually blurbing the books, which...
That's what came to my mind when I saw Tom Holland. Honestly, Ben, I know it's not, because I knew it wasn't, but that is what came to my mind.
Steffo, not Spider-Man.
I know.
That's the only Tom Holland
I know, sorry.
Guys, come on. This is serious business.
Sleepy Charlie, sorry.
Okay, then we have The Story of a Heart by Rachel Clark. So this was mentioned by Jen the librarian. I think, was it in her best books of the year, Charlie? I can't remember which video I saw her talking about this.
You have got Jen here, but I can't. I
Jen,
didn't
what
write
video
it down.
was you were talking about this on?
But also, yeah, Amelia, also our lovely Amelia has also. I don't know Amelia's here tonight as well, but I know she mentioned it as well. But I know that's because I think she heard about it from Jen. But yeah.
So this one sounds really great. It's about 2 children, effectively, and one of them,
9-year-olds, I think,
donates their heart to another one briefly, which Jen said broke her. And I was like, add to the TBR.
and Rachel Clark is a doctor. She's a doctor herself. So yeah, I should make sure I try and go back to my notes when we're talking about all of them. I've got notes on all of the authors. So yeah, let's see if I can. But then it means flipping back and forth again.
Ben is asking, where is the proof? Perhaps we need to draft an email to the publishers to ask which Tom Holland blurbed the books. And maybe
Rachel Clark is a British writer and physician specialising in palliative care and end of life care. She had a book that was shortlisted for the Costas in 2020, which was Dear Life, and she's had one of her books adapted to a TV series, which was called Breathtaking. Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
Jen also cannot remember which video she is talking about it on, which makes me feel a lot better. So why are you testing me again? Rachel Clark is a palliative care doctor in the NHS. Yes.
See, as I said, as was my research.
Beautiful and heartbreaking, highly recommend. Yeah, I am looking forward to it. Added to my list after seeing Jen talk about it. Might be related to the Bailey Gifford Prize. No, I think you're right. I definitely heard of this list in relation to the Bailey Gifford for sure. But I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe she talked about it in more than one video.
I think there were 2 of the books that was longlisted for the Bailey Gifford from this list. I don't know whether it was. I think it was Wild Thing and What the Wild Sea Can Be. I think from last year's, from 2024, those were the 2 of this list that was listed for the Bailey Gifford.
What about The Story of a Heart?
I don't think it was for. Well, and if it was, I don't. People in the comments can say. But from what I've got written down, there was 2 books for the Bailey Gifford last year from here.
Oh, I thought that was a Bailey Gifford one. Anyway,
if you can Google it, you can see and tell us, because I'm happy for that. I've just got what I've got written down.
Okay, Sister-in-Law by Harriet Wistrich.
Oh, this is one that's like, when we were looking it up, we were like a little bit excited. Oh, I was excited by it. So yeah, I'll just get my notes up because it'll just be easier.
Jen said there were 3 from the Bailey Gifford. She is the resident expert.
So it must be that one then as well. Then, yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It makes me want to read the Bailey Gifford this year, though.
Yeah. So I've got one right now. Sorry. So a shocking. So it was published. Sorry, I'll go to the published. It was published on the 2nd of May last year. It's 352 pages with an average star rating of 4.50. And I'll read you this then, and I'll go to my other things. It says, Sister-in-Law is the shocking true stories of fighting for justice in a legal system designed by men. And it says the hashtags for it on Zigzag are gender studies, women's rights, law, society, gender issues, social discrimination and social justice, Violence and Abuse in Society, Human Rights and Civil Rights, because obviously she's a civil rights lawyer. That's what
yeah.
There's telling the stories of a series of groundbreaking cases. Harriet illustrates how far misogyny is baked into our justice system. Her work has involved direct challenge to government departments and cabinet ministers and the politics and CPS. This is important work. This important work demands tenacity and compassion and collaboratism, but which shows that it is imperative that we demand better justice and that it is possible to bring about important change.
It sounds brilliant. Hello Bookworm saying is a must read. Definitely reading that one. I agree. My problem is several of these are must reads for me. Stephanie's curious about sister-in-law. She's a lawyer in America, so curious to see how British law marginalises women. Yeah, I think that would be a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, she's fought for years on these big human rights cases, and it's like she's done so much. There was a big John. I don't know if this book covers the John Warboys case or not, but yeah, there was a big case that she basically turned on its head, and she was just so amazing. And she's also, her and her partner, I believe, are the founder and directors of Justice for Women, which is a centre for women's justice. And she's just amazing. She's a proper legend.
Badass. Joy Books also keen to prioritise this one, so definitely got some love. And that was one of the ones that I hadn't heard of before this.
I just think she's
when I heard the name, I was like, sister-in-law, that sounds a bit rubbish. And then when I realised what the strapline was, I was like, oh, I'm in. Okay, Raising Hare by Chloe Dalton. The one Charlie has read.
Only one. I have still got my notes. It was published on the 26th of September in 2024. And it's 304 pages with an average star rating of 4.55. It's obviously very high. And it's, I'm sure most of you know the premise of this, but basically it's in 2020 during the pandemic. Chloe Dalton went out for a walk because she went back to the country. She's works in the government and she was a political advisor, or is a political advisor. I don't know what she still is anyway. So she went home to the country to stay, and went out for this walk, and then came across a baby leveret. And it's basically, she took the baby leveret home, decided to try and raise it, and it's obviously her story, but it's also talking about so basically as she's learning, you're sort of learning along with her, and it's sort of like talking about the environment and little changes we can do to help the natural world around us. So it's just so interesting. And the audiobook that I listened to is narrated, the audiobook is narrated by Louise Brealey, who also narrated The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, and she's an actress and stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend listening to it on audio if you
can. Stephanie saying that Raising Hare is not out in the US yet, but it's already getting buzz, so that's good.
You can check out her Instagram as well, because you can see loads of pictures. Chloe Dalton's got an amazing Instagram, full of her experiences with the hair and stuff like that. Yeah.
And just lowering the tone, asking if there are going to be sexy clams in the book about the ocean. We'll cover that when we get to it. But I feel like non-fiction about sexy clams is acceptable. Fiction about sexy clams, as we know, is not acceptable. Had a library hold on. This is Charlie first mentioned it in the video. I think I'm 400th on the list, so I have to buy it.
It's in all the supermarkets. Every time you go to the supermarket, it's on sale. So I reckon it's probably not wouldn't imagine it's the most expensive. It's probably less than a tenner. I mean, I shouldn't say get books from the supermarket. Sorry, anyone that's going to complain about it. But yeah.
I've got the hold on Libby, and I think I've got 12 weeks to wait. Jane has been waiting for Raising Hare forever from the library. Very popular book, right?
I remember when Jane requested it, because Jane was messaging me about it.
Ben is a fan of the Shukshy Crabs. Crabs? The crabs now. Shukshy Crabs.
I don't
know what's happening. We're descending into madness. Right, let's move on to the next book. Private Revolutions by Yuan Yang.
Right. I'll try and find my notes of it. Right. You carry on talking.
So this is one about coming of age in the Chinese Revolution, I believe.
Yes, I've got
it's
it.
not translated.
No, it's not translated. No, but she's so the author. This is the MP. She's a Labour MP.
Is she?
Yes, she's a Labour MP. I'll go back to my.
Interesting.
I've got my little notes on the book, and then I've got my author notes. So this is you know you get extra in this show. If I can actually find them.
You can find her notes. Jack's saying that Raising Hare was 99p on Kindle a while back. I know, Jack, and I saw it and I was like, I'm not going to buy that because it's on Libby and I've got it on hold. And now I'm regretting my life decisions. Past Gemma is an idiot and needs to just pick up all of the 99p deals when she sees them. Sorry, Charlie, are you ready?
I haven't actually got a load of author notes on her, but yes, but she's a British Chinese author from the Labour Party politician and journalist. She was formerly the UK-based Europe/China correspondent for the Financial Times, and the MP that she's for is nearish my local area by Early and Woodley. So like I'm a little bit outside of Reading, but it's not that far from me. So I'm like, she's an MP like that's near here. So I was a little bit excited about that this morning. But yeah, and this is a debut book as well, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, the notes I've got on the book are, so this book was published on the 9th of May last year, 320 pages, and it's this average star rating of 4.05. And it says, coming of age in New China, the hashtags for it are revolutions, uprising, rebellions, gender studies, women and girls, economic growth, reportage, journalism or collected columns, political activism and political engagement. And it says it's a portrait of China through 4 women who refused to accept the life laid out for them. This book is a coming of age of 4 women born in China in the 1980s and 1990s in a society about to change beyond recognition. And it says it gives voice to those stories that go untold, which I just think sounds so
Camilla's saying that she's loving the Charlie stats. Charlie's very good at the stats. Ariane, this is another one that Ariane's interested in. Jack, you're right. It is about recent Chinese history, not revolutionary China. That was a tired Gemma era.
It's fine. Like it's fine. We
Sarah
can just
Sorry,
I didn't hear what. Yeah, go.
Sarah's saying she's first in the queue for Embers of the Hands. Excellent news. Amelia wanted to see a space book on the list. I would have liked to see a space book on the list. Hoping to see.
I would not like to see a space book on the list.
That would have been nice.
I'm glad there was no space book. Sorry, people that like space. Space scares me.
Raising Hare is not released in the States until the 4th of March. That's not so long to wait. Not so long.
It's only February's the shortest month, so it'll be only a couple of weeks.
Don't
worry, Camilla. We had been talking about you. We've been praising you.
About you, Camilla.
We've been saying about how you're the one that got the most predictions right. Sorry.
Oh dear. Okay, so next up we have The Eagle and the Hart by Helen Castor. So this is the historical jobby about 2 historical men. Remind me which ones?
Sorry. The Eagle and Hart. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, and by Helen Castor. So this was published on the 3rd of October last year. It's a chonkster. It's one of the longest on the list. I think it is the longest on the list. Is it the longest? I've got my notes. At 688 pages. I can't see my other sheet of paper. Anyway, either which way. Yes. Hold on a second, my eyes are going. Right, so yeah, the hashtags for it are the tragedy. Oh no, it just says the tragedy. It just says the tragedy of Richard II and Henry IV. Hashtag European history, medieval period, Middle Ages, biography, historical, political, and military royalty. The authors of She-Wolves, which apparently is like one of her most famous books. Apparently, she has got loads of other books, which I'll talk about in a minute when I get to her author notes. But it says that she chronicles the lives and reigns of Richard II and Henry IV, 2 cousins whose rivalry brought their nation to the brink of disintegration and back again. At its heart, it's a story of 2 men whose lives were played out in an extraordinary parallel to devastating effect, which I just think It does sound really interesting.
It does, and I don't know so much about those two chappies, so I would like to know more.
I will try and find my author notes if I can. I wish I would have tried to like get it in some sort of order. I'm sorry. Yeah, so she's written, I think she's got 3 published books prior to this, which obviously was She-Wolves being her most famous one, The Women Who Ruled England Before Elizabeth, and that was published in 2011. She's also written Blood and Roses and Joan of Arc. Yeah, and it just said that she was a BBC, she's obviously British historian, medieval and Tudor period. She's been a broadcaster for the BBC on the BBC, and she's taught history at the University of Cambridge.
Lovely, lovely. And just saying that she started Embers of the Hand today after saying she wasn't going to read any non-fiction. Hashtag FOMO.
I knew the Vikings would get her, though. The Vikings were always going to get her.
Oh, hello, Chris. Lovely to see you. The Helen Castle book is quite good. As an English lit major, it was definitely for me. Oh, excellent.
And Chris has read loads from the list, so I feel like Chris can give us all the intel from all the books.
Ooh, give us the skinny. Dia, hello, Dia. Enjoyed She-Wolves. Nice. Camilla's interested by this one. Didn't even look it up at my library. All of her other books sound more interesting, though. Yeah.
But do you know what? Even if it brings you to another,
I'm interested.
Yeah, but even if it brings you to an author's other work, I still think that's a really great thing for it, isn't it? I think that's a cool thing to discover more books. It's still exciting. I'll be excited.
Okay, Why Fish Don't Exist by Lulu Miller. Oh, actually, quickly, before we go into that, and before I forget, don't forget to hit the like button.
Oh yeah, because we haven't got Zach here. I can't see if Zach's here.
Tell people.
Because normally when Zach's here, Zach's always telling everyone to put the thumbs up. Like and subscribe. Never ever get to do that. So yeah. Anyway, this was published on the 10th of October. It is again one of the shortest ones at 240 pages, and it's got an average star rating of 4.15 currently. And the information I've got here is it says, this quirky and profound international bestseller, a darkly astonishing scientific biography and guide on how to live well in a world where chaos comes for us all. And it's about like the bits of memory bits are about a guy called David Starr Jordan. I think though, like she ends up. I don't want to say that though. No, I don't want to give a spoiler for the book. I nearly said something. No. Anyway, it says this story is unlike anything else you read before. About a man, it says it's about a very tall man with a walrus mustache, the injustices and unexpected deliveries of the universe, love that strikes like lightning, and about why fish don't exist after all. It sounds a little bit wacky. And I feel like she draws what I've heard is that she draws all these philosophical conclusions. And yeah. So
well, I detest philosophy, so that doesn't bode well, does it?
But for some people, this might like float someone's boat and like spark them like
floating
my fireworks. No, not for that one. We'll save the fireworks.
Save them. Yeah, this book doesn't deserve fireworks. Candy.
You don't know that though, because neither of us have read it, Jem. You can't say that when we haven't.
I can make an assumption. Camilla started reading this one, and the first paragraph hit me straight in the feels. Oh, that bodes well. Okay, it's back on the list.
I'll just see whether I've got information about Lulu Miller and see about my author's notes as well. I'll go to see if I can find my author's notes while you're looking at the comments.
The lovely Roz is here. Hello. Before you, we're still plodding through. We're a bit waffly today, aren't we, Charlie?
We've got, because I've got author notes as well as book notes, which I think you're getting so much more this year because of the fact that you're not getting anything more. I'm sorry, but I'm trying my best.
Jack liking the sound of the philosophical fish book.
Yeah, I did write something about Lulu Miller. I have written something. Here we go. Oh no, there wasn't a lot. It just says she's an American writer and artist, and she's a Peabody Award-winning science reporter. I don't know what the Peabody Award is, but I mean, someone in America might know. And also, she started her career in radio, and this is her debut. So, yeah.
Anne is getting in early with some fiction predictions, and I also think this is a contender for the Women's Prize for Fiction for
You
sure.
can drop your fiction predictions. We want to hear them. We want, because that will help us write our lists.
Yeah, I have got a list, but it could change. I think Tiananmen
Square, isn't it?
That square. That square will be on the fiction long list. I'm never going to be able to say that word.
But there's words we can say and there's words we can't say. I couldn't even say autocracy until yesterday, until this morning. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. I couldn't even say
oh dear. Okay, so where are we at? We've done Fishy Philosophy. What the Wild Sea Can Be by Helen Scales. Is that not like a really apt name?
It's cool. It's literally like, you mean scales?
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. And she has got such a backlog of books, which I'll get to when I get to my author notes. But she has written loads of cool books and books for children as well. So I just think it's so cool. Sorry, but anyway, side note. So this book was published on the 6th of June 2024. It was 387 pages and it's 4.29 average star rating. This was one that was longlisted for the Bailey Gifford for Prize for Nonfiction last year. And it says it explores the future of the ocean, starting with its deep histories. Scales links past to present and shows how the prehistoric oceanology holds lessons for the future oceans of today. She takes us to the realms of animals that epitomize increasingly challenging to epitomize current increasingly challenging conditions, from emperor penguins to sharks and orcas. So there are orcas. Yet, as there is great threat, there are hopeful signs in the regeneration of seagrass meadows and the giant kelp in an effort to protect coral reef forests. So basically, it's meant to have like a positive twist to it. This is what I'm trying to get say. So yeah, she says she talks about ethical and sustainable fisheries, and she urges us to fight for a better future that still exists for the ocean today. So basically,
marvelous. Hopefully with no sexy clams.
There might be clams in there, but I don't know. She might have illustrated
orgies.
I don't know whether they'll be sexy though.
Dee is saying the Peabody Award is for broadcasting, FYI. Jen is saying the audiobook. This is really, really good.
That makes sense because she was started in radio, so that would make sense.
Yeah. I feel like no one on this chat is helping me actually to narrow down which books to read. They're just giving me more FOMO for the books that I already had FOMO for.
I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, go carry on. I'll tell you some of my author notes in a second as well.
Camilla, excited too. This one sounds familiar, from Ariane Fowler. I don't know why I said Ariane Fowler there. That was very, very
I love you, Chris. Yeah. I'll say about what some of the ones I've got for Helen Scales. It says she's a British biologist, writer, broadcaster. She writes about the ocean's living wonders for readers of all ages. Again, like she's got books that are for younger kids. Her books have been adapted for stage and screen and translated into 15 languages. Helen divides her time between Cambridge and the wild Atlantic coasts of France. She makes documentaries for BBC Radio and including one that was called the Life Subaquatic. And she's got, so some of the books that she's got written previously, I've got are The Shell Spotter's Guide, Around the Ocean in 80 Fish and Other Sea Life, Shell and What They Hide Inside, that was one of the picture books, Eye of the Shoal, Poseidon Steeds, The Brilliant Abyss, The Great Barrier Reef, and Spirals in Time. She's written loads. Samantha has already ordered it. All this sea talk is making me nostalgic for all the pod discussion. I know. I feel like maybe we should all read this one, and then if it has got clam orgies, then we'll have something familiar to talk about this year. Brian recommend to read the shortest ones. Yeah, the shortest Brian. Two ones are the Why Fish Don't Exist one, and then also
Autocracy.
The Autocracy. I think.
Yeah.
I think those are the two shortest ones. I wish I could find my other pieces of paper because I've got two other. Oh, there they are. I found it.
So Jack saying Autocracy is short but infuriating and scary, which sounds
it scares me.
They just reflects the current state of the world, really. Yeah. Jen confirming there are no clam orgies in this book. So
everyone's gutted now. You've ruined everyone's day.
I've ruined everyone's day. We'll just all have to reread Pod.
No, I couldn't even make it anywhere. I feel like I read enough by hearing everyone else talking about it. I was like, oh, that's just too much.
Oh dear. Anne is most interested for Autocracy. Stephanie, the Scales book has a section about the southern resident orcas.
Oh my god, you really made me want to read it.
One of the females says, 2 girls again. No! It sounds horrific.
That means you like it, though. You like horrific.
So sad. I do. Pod along 2025.
Yeah, there was only ever one pod along. I can't do that again. And otherwise, if you start saying pod along, Kieran will try and appear. We love you, Kieran.
I think maybe we need to do a pod along bookmark with dolphins and clams on.
Maybe. We'll have to think about it.
You know, that's a good idea. Dear. Which book is everyone going to read first?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I've already read one.
The comments, and we'll come back at the end.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good one to come back to. Well done.
Answer in the comments, guys. Ootlin by Jenny Fagan is next. Charlie B.
Yeah, and this is one I've actually purchased and started listening to today. I'll find the notes on it. Here we go. I'll try and turn the corner because then I keep my notes written. Yeah, so I know this was published on the 22nd of August last year. It's 336 pages and has an average star rating of 4.64. I think this is actually, I'll tell you in a minute, but I think that's one of the highest rated book on the whole long list. Yeah. And it says, it's described, I've written my notes as beautiful, deep and transfixing. It will burn a hole in your heart. Jenny Fagan was the property of the state before birth. She drew her first breath in care, and by the age of 7, she had lived in 14 different homes and had changed her name multiple times. Her journey through the broken UK care system, and it's about the very act of making meaning from adversity. So yeah, I started listening to it earlier. It's not narrated by her because some people, I think I was watching the lovely Lauren the books, who we love, and she thought that the book was narrated by her because apparently she's got like this amazing voice. But the book isn't narrated by her, it's narrated by someone else, but the audiobook narrator is still brilliant. But yeah, it's obviously very, very personal. I can see why she wouldn't want to narrate it because it's obviously talking about very difficult experiences in the care system, and yeah, it's very, very hard hitting, but it's also written in this really beautiful poetical style. So if you like beautiful language and like playing with like all of that, like it's just, yeah, it's not like a straightforward memoir. It's really, really rich and beautiful. So yeah. I can't wait I just want to sit and spend my time lock away and listen to it.
Jack is voting for a pod along bookmark.
No, because then you're all going to get me to make one for this. Maybe like, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe next year.
Jack reserved Ootlin. Oh look, Ange is also voting for.
That's because she's a troublemaker as well.
So just drop some dolphin emojis into the chat if you want pod along. Ariane struggling with memoirs, but this could be interesting. Same, I'm not a massive memoir fan.
And anyone that's read the Sarah Moss one that I said about, I feel like even though it's obviously very, very different because obviously very different topics, but it's that same kind of like beautiful writing, and it's that sort of like same sort of, it's not the same style, but because it's very, very different. But yeah, if you like the Sarah Moss one, I think you would like this one.
Yeah. Brian is thinking about making his channel only about short books. Brian, we both know that you
would never do that. He's such a liar. He loves his long books as well. You're such a liar, Brian.
Oh dear. Camilla, put a hold on this at the library, but being in Scotland on far down the list. Might not get this until summer.
Because she's a Scottish. When I get to her author notes, you'll see.
Excellent.
I've got a lot of stuff about Jenny Fagan. So do you want me to go? Or do you want me to, you can carry on reading, and then I'll go to them.
That's all right. That's all right. You go.
So yeah, Jenny Fagan is a Scottish novelist and poet, and has written several screenplays. She was named Scottish Writer of the Year in 2016 by the Glasgow Herald. She has won numerous awards. She won the Granta Best Young British Novelist in 2013, interestingly enough. And is currently her work has been translated into 10 different languages. Currently she's currently adapting The Blade Artist by Irvin Welsh into 12 part TV series. So again, this is the whole screenwriter thing. And apparently Hex, if any of you guys have read Hex, that it has a film script in the pipeline, apparently.
Oh, I have it upstairs. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. So that leads me off into some of her previous books. We've got Hex, which is obviously one that was relatively recent, published in 2022. Luck and Booth, the Sunlight Pilgrims, the Panopticon. She's also got apparently 8 previous poetry collections. I only found 4, but yeah, apparently she's written 8 poetry collections. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Loads.
Excellent. The lovely Nicole is tuned in from Australia. So it is tomorrow in Australia. So that's right. In Australia, they are one day closer to the weekend. Jealous.
And always one day closer to Christmas.
Charlie, don't swear on my channel. What are you doing? We don't mention the C word before the 15th of December, all right? That's the
all
rule.
C words are the best words because that's what Charlie. So Charlie's begins with C. So all C words are the best words.
Other C words I can think of that are appropriate.
I know what you're thinking of.
Chris, can I just say how happy I am to have this plod along? Oh, so good to see you today. It's a treat to be here with you all. It really, really is.
I was worried about how it was going to be, but you guys are all lovely. So.
Oh, look, Ross has voted for a pod along.
No, Ross, don't cause me trouble. If you do it, I can never say it to Ross.
I think this is also an emoji that hasn't come out right. I believe that is a dolphin emoji.
That's a jellyfish. That's not a dolphin. That's a jellyfish. Or it looks kind of like a rain cloud.
I just see squares.
No, it's not. It looks like, is it jellyfish or a rain cloud?
I don't know, but whatever. It's a vote for the pod along.
I think it's jellyfish.
I feel some of these will be quite traumatic. Yes. Not really up for that at the May. Starting with the Viking and Private Revolution.
I think there's enough cozy ones to kind of keep you going. So because there's such a big list, some of them are a little bit brutal, but then yeah, I think there's enough cozy ones to wedge it in.
Yes. Yeah, struggled with the memoirs on the list last year. Let's see this year.
Oh, I quite like the list last year. It's so funny.
Jack is voting again, but with a clam. It's not actually a clam, it's an oyster, but we're calling it a clam. Hex is so good. Hex is great. Yeah, so it was Jack that sent me Hex. I've got her copy.
We all share our books.
Yes, 7 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
Time travel.
In the Southern Hemisphere. Oh no.
We always love time travel in this. We can say about time travel.
Clam is a great sea word.
Love you, Joy.
And it was a jellyfish. I can only see squares on my computer. How weird is that?
Your computer can't see anything, Jim.
But I knew that it was a sea-related creature. So
okay,
take that. 1,000 Threads by Nene Cherry.
Nina Cherry.
Nina.
I think it's Nina Cherry. I'm sure. That's how I always said it. You guys tell if it's something different. And that was the first one I wrote about. So this was published in the 3rd of October last year. It's 308 pages and has an average star rating of 4.17. The hashtags for it are arts and entertainment, musicians, top of the pop. So I'll just read. Just started reading the blurry bit. Sorry. Top of the plops, not plops.
Plops. Woo!
And some of you guys might not. Do any of you in America know what Top of the Pops is? Obviously, Ange is here, so Ange is the touter for Top of the Pops. But yeah, it was a big British TV show here.
Sorry, I just read Brian's.
He's naughty.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, anyway, I'll just read you what it says and then we'll get in if anyone wants to talk about Top of the Pops and doesn't know what Top of the Pops is.
No, people don't know what Top of the Pops are.
And if you're still watching, please explain what Top of the Pops is because you're better.
Jack's in the comments as well.
Oh, yeah, Jack as well. Both of them. I love Top of the Pops, but it was a show I was always watching as a kid. It was like a chart show with all the music, but they will explain it properly as I read about the book. So, Top of the Pops, December 1988. The world sat up as a young woman in a bob and jacket, proudly and gloriously 7 months pregnant. This was no ordinary artist. This was Nina Cherry. And it says that the book remembers collaborations, highs and lows, friendships, loves and addictions, and also traumas, obviously. And Nina Cherry was a musician, a songwriter, and an activist, it said. And I have got author notes on her. If I go to them. Yeah, she's originally so she's originally from Sweden. Did you know, Nina Cherry? She's a Swedish songwriter and rapper. She's also sister to the Eagle-Eye Cherry, which I think is really cool because I used to always love his songs when I was growing up. And some of her songs that she's most famous for are 7 Seconds. If anyone knows these songs, let me know in the comments. I will love you even harder. And also Love Can Build a Bridge. She did like a not a duo, like with she sang a song with Cher, Chrissy Hind, and Eric Clapton. Love Can Build a Bridge. That's like one of the songs that I remember her singing. So yeah, if anyone remembers that, you get bonus points as well. And this is, I don't think she's written any other books. So this is obviously a memoir, but yeah, I don't believe there are any other books by her.
I'm not sure I'm going to bother with this one because I don't know.
Nina. Okay, I've already pronounced it wrong then. Sorry. Oh.
I was right.
What? Nina.
I said Nina.
No, I've always said it's because my whole life I've called her Nina.
There's some discussion on what a collective of jellyfish is.
Are we sure Zach's not here?
So Roz is saying it should be a squish of jellyfish, but in fact it is a smack of jellyfish.
I love that we are finding out these information. This is only going to carry on, isn't it? Now we've got a natural history.
So it should be a sandwich of jellyfish. What about a jolly of jellyfish? That'd be good.
Jolly sounds reminds. I'm not going to talk about jollies. I'm not saying
okay. Some discussion about what top of the box is. Nana, I've always pronounced it buffalo stance. What is that? I don't know what these things are. Apparently it's quite good. She did a really good episode of Between the Covers.
Oh, did she? Oh yeah, see Sarah. I knew Sarah would know.
Bridge. I'm gonna have to Google that later.
I was looking up all the songs. 7 Seconds. I just loved that bit because her bit in the chorus. I don't remember much of the rest of the song. So when I was replaying the rest of the song, there's like all this because that was like a collab with another a Senegalese artist by Youssef N'Dour. But yeah, the 7 Seconds chorus, which I won't try and sing, but that yeah, I'm gonna send it to you later.
Great. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, see, Rosa said about it in the comments.
Nastia thought of some prize for erotica books. Yes, no. Loved Second Seconds.
We get all discussions of everything on this.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, honestly. I don't know.
I love that Sarah just knows straight away. This is why I love you, Sarah. You just know straight away.
Right, we're going to move on to the next book because I don't know
what to say about it. That was a memoir. It's still going to be. If you're excited for it, if you like Nina Cherry or however you pronounce her, then I'm sure you will love that book. Yeah.
But I don't.
Agent Zoe. Let me find it. That's on my second page. Everything's in a dumbly order.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Here we go. This is obviously by Claire Mulley. This is was published on the 16th of May last year. Oh, that's my niece's birthday. It was my 16th of May is my niece's birthday. And it's 416. You don't care about that. That's 416 pages long, and it's got an average star rating of 4.22, so quite respectable. It says it's the untold story of the fearless World War II resistance fighter Elizabeth. I can't pronounce her name. Can you pronounce her name? Elizabeth Zawaka. Anyone knows how to pronounce her name? Let me know. I should have looked that up. I'm so sorry. Normally I'm good. But I was looking up a lot of other stuff, to be fair. There's quite a lot to remember.
Elzbieta Zawaka.
Yeah. Apparently, she became the only woman to parachute from Britain to Nazi Germany. She became the only woman to parachute from Britain to a Nazi German occupied Poland. So after the war, she was demobbed as one of the most highly decorated women in Polish history. Her remarkable story was hidden for over 40 years. This is full of research and extensive interviews with people that knew and fought alongside her. And yeah, it's just so interesting. It's got the hashtags of military history, European history, espionage, and secret service. It just sounds...
That does sound really interesting. It's not usually my jam, but I really want to read it now.
I've got notes on her as well, as you'd be pleased to know. But you can carry on seeing what everyone said about the book.
Yes, nasty essay in ancient days should be fantastic, highlighting such a strong personality. Brian thinks it sounds good too. It's not the shortest one on the list though, Brian. And Jack saying, talking about that cherry last again.
Claire Mully is, how am I saying it right now? I'm doubting myself how I'm speaking. She's an award-winning public historian, author, broadcaster, primarily focused on the female experience during the Second World War. Her previous books are The Spy Who Loved the Secrets. So the hashtag thing line subtitle for it is The Secrets and Lives of Britain's Bravest Wartime Heroes, I think that says. I can't even read my writing. And then another one of her books is The Women Who Saved Children, which is a biography of Eglantine Jebb, who is the founder of Save the Children, which is very interesting. And The Women Who Flew Hitler, which is the story of Hitler's Valkyries. And I think she's also got a poetry collection out previously as well. Yeah.
Nice.
It just sounds really like, I think that's like sparked little things that I would want to read it.
Yes,
espionage. You can't not read a book about like a famous person that was like in espionage, spies. Also, so we've got our very own spy right in that. That person there you just highlighted.
Yeah,
she is a spy.
And just saying, it sounds like a book there.
Yeah,
literally. Ariane got it on hold at the library. Brian has cast it from his TBR because it's not the shortest book on the list.
Did I see how many pages it was? I can't remember. Yeah, 1400. Yeah, I did say 416. Yeah, I did say. Yeah.
Claire makes me feel old that Nana Cherry's daughter is a performer now.
Because Nana Cherry is 60 years old, which I like is weird to my brain. Because she doesn't look. Well, not that. Let's not go into that.
No, right. Autocracy Inc. Obviously, we've had some chat about this one already by Anne Applebaum.
Lots of love for Anne Applebaum.
Apple what?
We've got lots of love for her. There's loads of love. Yeah, everyone's loving her previous books, aren't they? That's what they told us. Anyway, this was published on the 23rd of July 2024. It's 240 pages and average star rating of 4.24. The hashtags for it are hashtags political structures, totalitarianism and dictatorship. And it says it's one of the world's most celebrated historians and journalists, and she uncovers the networks trying to destroy the democratic world. And I've got a couple of quotes from the book because I thought that was quite good. It says, everyone assumed that in a more open, interconnected world, democracy and liberal idea would spread to the autocratic states. Nobody imagined that autocracy, liberalism, would spread to the democratic world instead. And there's another really cool one that I really like. This is the one I really like. It says, sometimes the point isn't to make people believe in a lie, it's to make people fear the liar.
Wow. There we go.
Drop that.
There we go. Camilla is going to pick this one up from the library next week. She's only in because it's so short. There's quite a lot of chat about how old people are in relation to Nana Cherry. I'm not going to go into. I'll let that conversation just happen.
In that case, I'll tell you my author notes before we get to Kate Stummersells quickly.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to thing. Yeah. So obviously I said about her being an American journalist and historian. She has written extensively about the history and communism development of civil society in Central and Eastern Europe. She also holds Polish citizenship, which is, I don't know if that's interesting, but she's married to someone that's Polish. I think that's why. And then she's got children, obviously. So she was a Washington Post columnist for more than 15 years. And she's won a Pulitzer. This is another thing about this particular author. She's a Pulitzer winning author. And I'll tell you which book I'll go through her books and I'll tell you which one won the Pulitzer. So yeah, she's written Twilight of Democracy, which is the failures and politics of parting of friends. The Iron Curtain, which is the crushing of Eastern Europe. 1944 to 56, and this is the Pulitzer winner. Listen out, guys! It's Gulag: A History of the Soviet Camps, which was I can't remember when it won the Pulitzer. I didn't write that down. Why did I not write that down? But yeah, she's won a Pulitzer.
That sounds great. I've been meaning to read the Gulag Archipelago for
There's
about
four other books as well that I've got by her written down. But yeah, she's a prolific writer.
Nice.
Lots of backlists to go for us to go to if we like it.
Yes. Okay, so the next one is the Peepshow, and this is the one that I think Alice would have loved. I think she really would have been all over this book. By Kate Summerscale.
Right. So this was published on the 3rd of October. Obviously last year. It's 317 pages and it's an average star rating of 3.98. I think this is the lowest. No, it's not the lowest on the list, but it's one of the lowest ones on the list. But that doesn't matter because 3.98 is still really high. And its hashtags are violence and abuse in society, true crime, serial killers and murder, news media and journalism. And it says it's from Britain's top-selling crime writer / #1 bestseller of The Suspicions of Mr. Wicker. I think I've got the book written down. I don't know if I read that right, but yeah. So it's, I can't read what I've written. Crime that someone was previously hanged for. It's about miscarriage of justice for there's a miscarriage. Loads of people were accused of there was murders that happened in this house at the 10 Willington Place, and someone was accused and actually hanged for it. And it turns out that it was actually this guy called Reg Christie, who was a former policeman, and he was like this softly spoken guy apparently. And yeah, so this book it talks about in this riveting true story, Kate Summerscale mines the archives to uncover the lives of the Christie's victims and the tabloid frenzy that the deaths inspired, and the truth of what happened inside the house. Yeah, because there was all this, the media like basically was ramping it up and creating all these mistruths and misinformation. And so it's like basically it's unpacking all of the information. And yeah, it's so interesting. Even though, like, hopefully there's the thing about this book that I am a little bit apprehensive about, being honest with you, if we're being completely transparent. Like, it doesn't mention the names of the victims on the books. And if it's a bit victim-focused book, why aren't you mentioning the names of the victims? That's like something that I'm like, I have mild questions over, and I hope it isn't too like sensationalist, but hopefully it does sound interesting. So
there's a lot of interest for this one. Jack loves a good true crime investigation. I'm not a massive fan of true crime, so this one's pretty low down my list of excitement.
Did you buy it though?
I haven't bought it yet, no, but I probably will if it's £1.99. And another book for me, but I am not a serial killer.
That's funny.
Jen saying that's what they all say. Ben, this is the one probably most immediately drawn to. Would you tell us if you were a serial killer?
It's a spy, and spies do kill people, do they? Or do they just don't tell people?
They do. I don't think it counts if you do it for the government. I'm for sure going to read this one. Highly intrigued.
Yeah, this one Chris has read.
One's good too. Say Kate Summerscale's non-fiction reads like fiction. That's good to know.
It does sound really interesting.
How long is it, Charlie?
This was I think
it was like 300 pages.
Yeah, I think that's right. I have got my notes. I'll go back to it because I went to my author notes. Sorry, I skipped ahead. Not ahead because it's not ahead, but back. Where are we? It's on my previous page. That's what happens when I've got 21 pages of A4 notes, people. I was dedicated. Not that. Where are we? I can't find it now. Keep talking, Jem. What did I find it?
What are you looking for? The number of pages?
It is 317 pages.
Okay. So then
I'll go to my author notes about which books, The Suspicions of Mr. Wicker and stuff. She was famous for that's Kate Summerscale's most famous book is The Suspicions of Mr. Witcher. And apparently it's been made into a TV drama. Did you know?
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I won't go into her books, but she's got a big backlog. You can go to check it out.
Excellent. Okay, penultimate book now. 2 more to go. So we've got Tracker by Alexis Wright, who is an Australian Aboriginal writer. And Charlie and I were both quite surprised when this popped up because we hadn't seen anyone talk about it. It was published in January.
Especially because of how much people do talk about her. I thought that, but I think what it is because it was published in Australia a few years ago and it's only been published in the UK more recently. And I think that's what's potentially throwing people off because I'll get into that in my author notes. I've got some notes about this book about it's won a prize already. It's Alexis Wright has won the Stella Prize. She's the first woman to get a double win on the Stella, and so she with Tracker and also with Praiseworthy. So yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found that out. I know this is what
I didn't realise the Stella did non-fiction.
This is what I'm sure I do. Let me look for my notes. I've written. I know she's won the Stella twice, but I don't know whether it was for that or I'll go double check my. You're making me question myself. I have got notes on it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I just didn't realise
the first writer to win a Stella. The Stella Prize twice, for Tracker and Praiseworthy. And then it says she also was the winner of in 2024 for the Melbourne Prize for Literature. And she's also obviously she's most famous for her Mars Franklin Award-winning book Carpentaria. I don't know if you said that. And that was in 2006. Yeah, that's her author notes, and she's obviously from an Australian Aboriginal writer from the I can't pronounce it. Wayeni Nation. And I think she's also I was going to say I think she's the oldest writer on the list, but I don't think she is because there's another lady that's slightly older. She's 74, but there's another lady that's 78. I can't remember which author. Not that age matters again, but yeah, interesting. Are you looking it up? Checking.
Yeah.
Because that's what I found out yesterday. So
it was in like 2017.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. Yeah, that's why I think that it's kind of
that's like 8 years ago.
Yeah, but and other stories obviously picked it up in the UK and republished it here because that's the independent publisher here. And it's it's the second longest book on the list at 650 pages. It was published this year, 7th of January. That's why I think it has the lowest. It's the book with the lowest Goodreads rating, but it's because of the fact that there isn't many ratings of it. At 3.89.
I do think as well that Alexis Wright is an acquired taste. Her writing style is quite different from anything that I've attempted before. I mean, I didn't get very far into Praiseworthy, but it was really I found it quite difficult to focus on, and it needed quite a lot of brain power. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a commentary.
Because some people will just love it, won't they? They'll soak it all up.
If you're in the mood for that sort of thing, and I think if you go into it knowing that it's that sort of writing style, then you're okay. But if you go into it just for a good yarn, you're gonna have to work for it, you know.
This book is about Tracker Tilmouth, who was taken from his family as a child and brought up in a mission on Crocker Island. He was a charismatic Aboriginal leader, a political thinker, and a visionary. And it says that Wright basically interviewed Tilmouth himself as well as various members of his families and friends, apparently. So yeah, it's says it's a collective memoir of one of the Aboriginal Australia's most charismatic leaders and an epic portrait of a period in the life of a country. That's what it's described as. So it does sound interesting.
It does sound great, but I just worry that I'm not going to gel with her
writing style. Yeah.
Brian, still not convinced.
That was the other one.
317,
not bad. Oh, thank you, Camilla. I didn't
like Camilla. I would be in bed now if I wasn't live too. So I'm
sorry.
Well, it's not your fault, is it? I bought Tracker for the library recently, but someone else put a hold on it before I could take it.
But Jen, you have power with the librarians. You should whisper to your library mates and just be like, and try and get them to do stuff.
Just say no. And Other Stories only announced it just before Christmas, I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just were shocked, weren't we? We didn't realise it had even been out in the UK.
It's such an interesting publisher, though. Yeah. because I think they published Tiamo.
Yeah, it was one of your favourite books, wasn't it?
It was one of my favourite books last year. So, yeah.
I've already gone through my author notes, so I don't need to go through those author notes.
Chris, Tracker seemed like an odd inclusion since it's almost 8 years old. Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit, but
it's definitely got in on the technicality of the system. Outrageous behaviour, Jen. Oh, the person taking that book, taking Tracker out. You should have said it's lost in transit, Jen.
Jen has all the powers, so she could like influence all the books that she gets out of the library as well. Even if it's a library you don't work in, I bet you've got more power. You should just be wielding your power.
Brian, absolutely no to a 650-page book, and Claire only got the Helicaster book. I'd like the Viking one too. Okay, last book.
Are we saving the best till last? Are we?
Are we?
This is the book that Jem was the most excited. As soon as we saw this list, Jem was like, "Oh my days, I need that book." Maybe not.
No. This is an art one.
She can't even say it with us. So anyway, it's by Superdo, 416 pages. It was published on the 12th of September last year at an average star rating of 4.44. And it's obviously about the life of Paul Gauguin. I don't know if I'm saying that's correctly. He's chiefly known as the giant post-impressionist painter whose bold colours and compositions rocked the world. This book re-examines his life and illuminating people, places and ideas that shaped his vision. And it says it's about his privileged upbringing in Peru, his rebellious youth in France, and then it says meeting Meta, I don't know how you pronounce that, Mette, with the woman basically who would go off to marry. And it also mentions about some of the encounters he had with Van Gogh. It says drawing from a wealth of new material and access to the artist family, this myth-busting work invites us to see Gauguin anew. And when I was looking at like images of the book, it looks like the actual book itself looks very pretty. That's what I think lots of us will be potentially reminded of Thundercup last year. But I was a little bit excited for it, and then I messaged our lovely Jen, if Jen is still here. I don't know whether you are, yeah, she didn't get on with it.
Which Jen?
Our Jen, the librarian. This one.
This Jen, the one saying not to bother.
I was like, oh, Jen's read this one. So I couldn't remember whether I knew that it was like a polarizing. I knew it was either you loved it or you hated it. And yeah, it turns out it was the hated.
No.
But that some people might love it. So there will be people out there. If you love it, it's fine.
Ben saying, Jen, can you please push him up the reservations list? Jen, you need to do this for all people on the plot, please. Find out what library they're associated to and just pop them to the top of the reservations list.
She's got so much power. Like, I believe that Jen has more power. She's connected to so many libraries. How many libraries are you at? Yeah.
She is.
She's a member of so many different libraries as well. And then, so tell us how many men. Also, our other Jen, if you're still awake, our Jennifer Loves Books is a member of a zillion libraries. So I think maybe it's a Jen thing. They just have members of all the libraries.
Yeah. I actually think Jen should change her name to Jen, Queen of the Librarians.
That is what it should be.
Queen Jen of the Libraries. Yes.
Give her a crown. If I can make crowns appear on the screen, I would for you, Jen.
Yeah.
I did write also notes on Superdo, but unfortunately, even though I think she is the eldest, not the eldest, she's the oldest author on this list. I think she's 79 years old. She is, but but there isn't a lot written about her. So I've got that she's an Anglo-Norwegian writer. She said it says that her grandmother was muse to the explorer Roald Amundsen, and her godmother was painted by Edvard Munch. It says, and that was what her first book was about. Edvard Munch. That's the guy behind the Scream painting. You know, the famous Scream painting.
No.
And so she has got 4 previous books. Edvard Munch's Behind the Scream, I'm a Dynamite, A Life of Frederick. I can't pronounce the surname. Knights, and then Strindberg, A Life, and Magnetic North. So she's got 4 previous books.
They all sound
But to some people, they all sound amazing.
Sarah, the one she's least interested in, Hello Bookworm, also not keen. But it's going to make a great birthday gift to an art-loving friend of mine. Yes, this is true. If you love art, then it's definitely more of your thing.
And I do think the physical book does look very pretty.
You can't roll a turd in glitter, mate. You know this.
To be fair, it's going to be hard to top Thunderclap because last year I loved Thunderclap so much. So I don't think another book would like compare to me. But, it's always good to be surprised.
Samantha, not interested. Jack, not interested. Oh, apparently he had dodgy sexy politics. I was going to say dodgy sexual politics too.
Who's the artist? Edvard Munch.
I would have thought so. Yeah. We're all feeling the same. Could turn into the Pridalogue.
I would not want that.
Oh God. The stuff about Van Gogh. Oh, geez. It's interesting, but that's about 50 pages.
Maybe we could just get you to tell us that. No, we shouldn't say that. Everyone should go check out the book, get it out of the library.
Eek from Claire. It's beautiful to look at. Got it as a gift. Still have not read it. Can't muster the energy.
Have it like as a coffee table book, so you can just like flick through it when you like.
This Jen doesn't read non-fiction.
But you do have a big access to all the libraries, so like you have power too, but not quite as much power as our queen. But no, you're the queen of the DNF, so you've got your own title of queens.
I don't actually know what you mean, Ange, because I am very good at concealing my facial expressions.
You should have seen when it got listed. That was just the best. I wish I would have taken a screenshot then.
Oh, but joined a 4th library. They removed our ability to change the order of holds. We clearly misused our power. Possibly. It's possibly. Queen Jen.
All the
there were better books about female artists. There weren't better books about female artists. I tried to read everything but Paul Gauguin.
I'm sure Jen will say it.
Is a tough sell for me. Empress Jen. Love that.
That's even. I'm sure an empress is more powerful than a queen.
Yeah, we'll take that. Empress Jen. I love art and books about art, but this is not the one.
That's why I was like. That is why I was like. If I do trust your opinion, because I was like, when you said that, I was like, that's what I was telling the girls. I was like, well, if Jen said that, I might be a little bit more cautious getting to it. If I see it in the library, I'll pick it up. I'll see.
Yeah. Claire raving about Thunderclap. I DNF that.
I'm gonna have to work out what because you were saying about like our tops and our bottoms and all of these things, and I haven't planned all that, so I've got to have a little think.
No, you don't get a think. You have to just do it off instinct. You've got 5 seconds, Charlie Brooke. I want 2 tops and 2 bottoms.
My favourites.
2 that you think.
Obviously, Raising Hare is my number. Raising Hare's my number 1 because that was like one of my favourite books last year. Obviously, I want that shortlisted, 100%. And then I'm gonna say Ootlin because I predicted that. I'll just bung that on the top.
Which one?
Ootlin by Jenny Fagan. I don't know whether it will get shortlisted, but because of the
you
fact
only get 2 picks for the top, so that's your 2 picks.
No.
Yeah. What are your 2 bottoms?
My bottom one is Autocracy. Autocracy. I said it wrong again. Autocracy. At least I didn't have to say the word totalitarianism, which I just managed to say.
I know you've got it out now.
Yes, I can say it now.
What's your other bottom? Tick, tick, tick.
Probably the tracker, just because it's so long, and that would put me off, being honest. But I do like the idea of reading a book by Alexis Wright, and it does sound interesting. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe Wild Thing. I don't know either. I don't know.
Okay. Everyone in the comments, we want to know what you think are going to be the 2 best and the 2 worst books on the list.
But
for me,
yes, you say.
My tops, I think, are going to be Embers of the Hands, the Viking one.
Yeah.
And By the Fire We Carry, the Indigenous one, the American Indigenous one. And then I think my bottoms are going to be the boring art book and the one about some pop star that I've never heard of. Just saying.
That's going to be like the best ever.
Just saying.
Do you know my favorite thing about that is though, because like we said this last year, and what my bottom book, like I said, Codependent was. I was like, nope, it's AI scares me, and actually that was like one of my favorite books of the year. So even though we say now these are our bottoms, obviously like anything could change at any second.
Things can change, and also as people start reviewing stuff, right? If people review stuff and give it good reviews, then we
all want to see what Louise says. Louise Savage, she's Louise Savage users. She's the best, and she's going to like work her way through them. So yeah, I can't wait to see what she thinks of them, especially.
Okay, so Gauguin is how you say that artist's name.
Okay, thank you.
Still haven't read any from last year. Just reserved Wifedom at the library. It's so good.
There's so much good stuff to get to from last year still.
There are so many good ones from last year. Going off the rails, always. We love it. Story of a Heart will win. That would be my number 3 slot, I think.
I'm too scared to read it because I don't think I can cope with sad still.
I want to be destroyed. I want to be a wreck on the floor, like
I'm already a wreck. I cry too much, so no, I don't need
it. Embers of the Hands for me, just because it's about Vikings. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I was going to say about the Embers of the Hands. It's got at the beginning bits of the book that me and Ange both noticed this morning, which we said on our little chat thing about. Yeah, it's got she put a Terry Pratchett quote in at the beginning of the book. So I was like, this girl, the fact that she's put this in here, I love her so much more. So that would automatically give the author bonus points.
My choices are Brian approved, so I'm very pleased about that. Tops from Samantha, Raisin Hare and Story of a Heart. Bottoms, same as me. Yes, Samantha. These are our bottoms. Love Louise.
Guys, oh my God, you're so naughty.
It's enough of the butt talk. Ootlin at the bottom for Sarah. Controversial. Vikings and Raisin Hare or Private Revolution's top. Yes, I think they're all going to be
There
great.
are so many books I would put at the top. Like you said, we were looking through them and I was like, we want to read that. I want to read that. And then, oh my gosh, they just all sound like there are so many of them sound so amazing. Like,
yeah. Ange has indeed got a bias for anything Northern. This is true. Nicole, I haven't read any on the non-fiction, nor have I. My focus has been on the fiction list, but I want to add these books. Yes, do it. Claire, not sure about the summer scale book, which was the Peepshow. Yeah, it's quite low down mine as well. I'm not a true crime girl either.
I'm still gutted about the Hallie Rubin not making it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I dare not do my DNA in case I don't have Viking ancestry.
You would ruin your life.
Sorry, Charlie, were you going to say something?
I can't remember. I'm so tired. It's fine.
Okay, last one, and then we're going to be clocking off.
I can't pick 6 for shortlist. This is a prediction as well. This is what I predict. This isn't what I want to be listed. This is what I predict.
Okay, do it.
I think you should go first because I went first last time.
Okay. I'm going to go for, I think, By the Fire We Carry, we'll go through. The Story of a Heart, Sister-in-Law, Private Revolutions, Autocracy, and the pressure.
I should be doing the tick 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 tick.
Racing Hare.
Oh, that's a good answer. You've got to count 6 for me because otherwise I'll lose track. I'm gonna say obviously Raising Hare because I'm gonna shout about that till the cows come home and back again. I also want to say Sister-in-Law just because I just think that just sounds so amazing. I feel like there'll be like a wild choice in there. And my wild choice, I'm going to say the wild choice will be the Why Fish Don't Exist. I'm going to say some author, even though I think this is going to be like the Marmite book, I think some author's going to whack that on there. So that's 3. I want Agent. I'm going to say Agent Zoe by Claire Mully. Private Revolutions. And where are we?
5.
One more. What do I think is going to be listed? I'm going to add. No, I can't add. Can I add another sea book? Yeah, I'm going to say What the World Sea Can Be by Helen Scales. That's my other one.
Oh, you're going double clam. Double clam.
It's because I want to hear about the orcas. And I just think, it's important. The oceans.
They are important.
I'm gutted that my iceberg book didn't get listed. That's another thing I should have said at the beginning. Yeah, why didn't my iceberg book get listed? You guys should go watch my video if you want to know what I'm talking about. Because that was such a good book. It sounded so good.
Oh dear. Okay, so finishing up on the comments, Roz believes that Ange has Viking spirit.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I believe that too.
She is a Viking.
Just living in her soul. It's there, right there in her.
Yeah, she is. Soul. Just anger her and you will see. Claire, Ancestry's added 2% Cornish. That's exciting. Was gutted a book didn't make the long list. Now we will never know the book.
Which one are you saying about? Because we talked about a few and I'm getting confused because I get very confused very easily. I'm terribly sorry. Chris, tell us.
Is it the iceberg one?
No? Yeah, maybe. No, it won't be the iceberg one, surely. If it is the iceberg one, then likelihood is small. If I have Viking DNA, then surely you do too.
Indeed. Don't do philosophy, so not keen on the fish book.
Yeah,
no fishy philosophy for you, Claire.
But you know what? Yeah.
Good night, Jack. And I think actually that is our cue to say good night because it has been an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know how that time has just evaporated. But thank you all so much for coming. It's been lovely.
Oh, yeah, we've got to say about the next plod.
Oh, do you have a thing for that? Hang on.
Because it's with Amelia and the lovely Gretchen, our next guests. Is it 3 p.m? I thought it was 2 p.m.
It is 2 p.m, but I haven't changed it from last time.
Okay.
Hang on. Wait, I'll edit it.
Yeah, we've got the lovely Gretchen from Meiji Book, which is amazing. We love Gretchen. And then also we have got the amazing Amelia Barlow Books. She will be back on the internet and with us. So we're very, very excited on Sunday, the 23rd of February. And is it on my channel? Yeah, it's on my channel.
Yes. Yes, it is. So obviously we'll put things in the community tabs as always.
And follow the Plod Along Instagram account, which is WP Plod Along on Instagram, or follow us on Instagram. Find us.
Indeed. So it has been lovely, and we will see you all very soon with another one.
Love you, and thank you for being so lovely, everybody.